Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Mike and this is Build and Tinker, and we're getting very close to the end of our 1966 Batmobile with just 10 more issues to go, and we're going to cover 6 of those in this episode. We're doing issues 111 to 116. Again, we'll be focusing on the front of the car. We're going to get the bonnet on, we're going to get the front bumper finished, and then there's some other pieces to go on as well, including parts of the exhaust. So let's get started. So these are the parts of issue 111, and we have the lower part of the front bumper. That's going to just bolt on. There is a piece here we need to remove first. We've got some brackets, and then these are little caps that cover up the screws that hold the bumper into place. So there is this transport bracket here. It literally is there just to stop the piece getting damaged or bent in transit. So we just have to take a couple of screws off, and then we can remove... Oops. Then we can remove this bar, and we don't need it again. That can go. The first step is actually to mount these brackets, and they go onto the corners of the car. Now they are handed left and right, and they are stamped left and right just on the inside next to those 2 screw holes. So let's see which is which. So this is our left one, this is our right one, and they go... I'm going to swing this around just to match the orientation of the picture. So I've got the right one, it's over here now, and it fits this way round. So it's just going to sit on top just like that. And it actually sits on top of those posts and will hold itself in place while we fetch a couple of CM screws to hold it down. And then of course we're going to repeat that on the other side. So that's step 1 complete with these brackets installed. We're now going to fit this to the front shell of the car. So here's the front shell. It's upside down, and we've got it positioned on some foam to keep it from getting scratched. And this piece simply drops over. It's pretty obvious where it goes and sits in place here. So there are 4 CM screws, 1 in each of the brackets we've just fitted, and then there's a couple more which are under here. So let's get these ones in first. And then we'll just flip it over, and we're looking to get into here. Right in the front here are 2 holes, and we just need to put a screw into each of those. Again, it's a CM. So now we're going to fit the front hood, and it's a little bit fiddly to get it in. I've got this almost in place. Make sure I've got some foam here. We're just trying to get these parts of the hinges lined up. I'm trying to do this whilst showing you on camera. So the easiest way it seems to me to do this is with the hood in the open position. So I've fully extended the hinge, and then I'm able to feed that large hood extension through, and desperately trying to hold it together and show you everything. There, you see that the hinges now sort of drop in place. Hopefully what I can now do with the hinges roughly in place is now kind of rest it down and gently close it. Okay, been able to do that. It was very fiddly, especially while trying to keep it in shot. That's lined up perfectly. I've kept my cables out of the way. So we've now got some screws just here that we need to install, and they are on this side of the bracket and then the same on the other. They are AM screws, and there's 4 of them. And there is the hood attached. And it opens and closes, so let's just check very carefully that it's working. Okay, so we have, can't quite see very well on camera, but we have a bit of a fitment issue here. So it's not closing. That's not unusual with these models. We tend to have to sort of fettle the hinges slightly on most of these before they will end up where we want them. Sometimes it's you have to bend the parts a little. Sometimes it's just a matter of adjusting the hinge screws. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time sorting that out and show you the finished article when I'm done. Okay, and with the hood slightly adjusted, it's fitting a little better. I've got a bit more work to do on it, but it's not too far out. There are 2 more little bits to add just underneath where we screwed this in. So there are two holes underneath here on the bottom part of this bumper. They're actually for screwing the brackets in for the hood. And then you have to plug those with these little plastic caps. I'm not going to do that just yet in case I need to get the hood off again, because there's a tiny bit more adjustment to do. But they are just push fit. You just push those covers in. There is one more thing we need to do on here, which we didn't do last time. And that was test the headlamps and indicators. So as you know, I use a Test Circuit Pro for that. So with the front of the Batmobile in position, we're now going to test the H lamp, which is this turn signal here, and you can see that's working perfectly. We'll just do the other one, and we've now plugged in G. That's our turn signal on the other side. And then we'll plug in the headlights. So we've connected up our headlights, and we'll give those a try, and they are working perfectly. So that's great. We know we can press ahead and not worry about any electrical issues. So we'll unplug the Test Circuit Pro, put that back to one side, and that's everything for issue 111. So we'll move on to 112. So in issue 112, we're doing the bottom half of the rear bumper. So just like we've done with the front, but for the rear. So again, there is a transport piece. We need to remove that first. Oh, sorry, it unscrews from the top. Again, we don't need that piece. We can get rid of that. And we now need the main body of the car. So let's get the main body of the car on the bench. So we now have this part on the bench upside down, and then very simply we take this lower fender part and we just drop it into place, and it sits on some posts. Very straightforward. There's some CM screws, 4 of those to install, one here, and then in these corners on both sides. And with that done, that's everything for issue 112, and we'll move on to issue 113. So in issue 113, we're installing a couple of grills. They're here. They're not very big. They go on the rear of the car, and that's right here in these apertures here that we've just created by adding the lower bumper. They're identical because you can simply put them on either side by just flipping them around. They drop in just like so, and then they're held in with some ZM screws. There's 5 screws per grill, and you can see where they fit. There's basically some round holes. There's 2 in each corner here, 2 in the center, and 1 in this far corner. So let's just get one in to hold them all in place. And with the first side done, we simply repeat that for the other side. And there we are, the grills are now fitted. And that is everything for issue 113. So we'll move on to issue 114. So in issue 114, we're back with the main chassis. We're actually in the engine bay for the first time in quite a while. And we start with this long black engine hose. And it's going to go somewhere around here. So we need to figure out where that's going. So it looks like it attaches to this piece here. So we have a right angle on one end, and then we've got this sort of slight curve. And it's this slight curve that we think is going to go into here. And it looks like it's supposed to come up underneath and through a hole here in the wheel arch. So it goes up through there, and then there's a little post on the end of it. That's going to stick into a hole in the end of this silver piece. So I'm going to try and support that whilst inserting it. Right, so there we go. That has pushed into place now there. And what you'll see is that if I move the camera down, there we go. It comes out and it goes around here, and it tucks just underneath this front part of the chassis. Now keep in mind, if you're following the instructions, your chassis may look slightly different than mine in that it's likely to have its interior fitted and the front firewall. My interior is out because I'm using it at the moment. It's in my electronics workshop, and we're developing the final touches for the Bat Dash. But it doesn't matter. These stages we're installing now have no bearing on the interior. So we need to flip this over. And I'm going to put some foam under these pieces to stop the engine getting damaged. And the parts we're fitting are this length of exhaust here, and then there's part of a sort of silencer. So we are on the... what side of the car are we doing? Okay, we're on this side of the car. One end of this pipe has a tab on it, and that's going into the one half of this silencer. And then there's a couple little posts here and here, and they just push into holes in the chassis very simply. And then this tab is going to find itself positioned above a screw hole, and we put an AP screw in there. And then on the other end, we're just going to take the black hose that we've just installed, and that's going to push onto this end of the exhaust, like so. And the final step is to put this cover over the top. So it's the other half of the silencer. It's got a wide opening on one end and a slightly smaller one on the other. I think the wide opening goes towards the back of the car, and it literally just pushes into place. And that's the end of issue 114, and we'll move on to 115. Issue 115 is the same as 114. We're just doing the other side of the car, but again, it wants us to do it in the same order, which means flipping the car over, then flipping it over again. So I'm not going to do that. I'm kind of tired of turning this car over and risking damaging it. So I'm going to do the steps in reverse. I'm going to put this tailpipe, or exhaust pipe, sorry, onto the side of the car first. Get this buttoned up, and then I'll put the engine hose in. So that's the pipe attached and the silencer on, and we'll flip the car over. And I've also turned it around just so that I've got a bit easier access to this side of the car. And again, it's the same as before. You push this downpipe up through the hole in the wheel arch, and then it will insert into the hole in the end of this manifold. And then it wasn't a very tight fit. And then the other end attaches to the exhaust pipe we just fitted. This piece in the engine is a really loose fit and just wants to keep coming out. So I might come back to that with a little bit of super glue just to hold that in place, because on the other side it was a really nice tight friction fit. On this side it's just popping out. So that's the end of issue 115, and we'll move on to issue 116. So with issue 116, we're back with the front part of the car, and we're going to put it upside down on the bench again. And we are fitting a bracket onto this side. So this is the bracket. It's quite big. I think this is part of what's used to attach this to the body of the car. And it has on one end this flat plate with two holes in. That very simply is going to sit over these two posts here, facing that way around, like so. And we'll pop it into place. Oh no, it doesn't want to stay. Right, well, we'll lean it somewhere while we get our screws out. 2 EM screws. And there we have it, that bracket installed, and that's actually everything for that issue. Now there are some other parts that come with it. There's this bracket here. It's got an L in it for left, so when we get it out later, we won't forget what it is. And then there's this, which is the side. Now let's zoom out so you can actually see. This is the sort of side of the car. This is the side sill that goes underneath the door. See, there's the cutout for the door. It also has a rather nice emblem in the middle, as you can see, which is the shield. I don't know if that's the George Barris shield, who obviously he made the car. I don't know how screen accurate that would be. I'm going to have to go back to my pictures of the Batmobile and see whether on screen we actually had this, or whether this has been lifted from a replica or from one of the originals, which obviously George Barris, who made the original cars, he actually, you know, drove around with them and used them for exhibitions and all sorts of stuff, and they didn't stay screen accurate. He made loads of changes and modifications over the years. So some of those things find their way into these partwork models because they often base them on reproductions rather than going back and looking at original cars or original footage. So keep those pieces to one side. They'll stay in their box. And that is it for this issue, and indeed for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps, and I hope your model is coming on slightly better than mine, because mine's a little battle worn with all the bits that are missing that I need to now finish off and get sorted. But we are getting very close to the end, and I'm looking forward to seeing this model be finished and take pride of place on one of my shelves. So in the meantime, have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.